sometimes you have to cut back with a client for their own good. I'm running a thriving gig economy. Would you like to learn too? I've had a public speaking client for a while. She came to me because she's native Chinese and she was a little concerned about her English, and she was a little concerned because she's very demure speaking. And so she wanted me to help her speak with clearer English and a more persuasive style, because she's a woman in a man's industry, or male-dominated industry, I should say. And she found it very hard at times in a discussion group to really get people to listen to her. Well, we worked in classes, and she got better. And she finally got to the point where, quite frankly, it really wasn't her English that she needed to worry about. Her voice was getting stronger. And I finally got to a point where I said, she's paying me for public speaking, and that's not really what she needs. She's good enough, and I didn't feel right continuing classes with her because I just don't feel that she needed that part of my training. And we talked about it. And I said to her, you're fine with your English. You're understandable. Yes, you have an accent. So what? People used to have an accents. After 30 seconds, nobody even pays attention anymore. So I don't think that's an issue for you. She said, yeah, but Bruce, you've been helping me a lot understand the culture of the corporate world, how to handle myself in certain discussions and what have you. I really kind of feel like you've almost moved from a public speaking coach to just a regular career coach. I said, well, that's a nice compliment. So we talked about it, and we're cutting back on the public speaking. We're just not going to have the regular classes anymore. And we've decided, instead of having weekly classes, once a month, or when she needs it, she's going to reach out to me, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some career situations in her office, how she could handle herself better, what she can do going forward. And I'll give you a quick example of the type of stuff that I've talked to her about. For instance, she said they have a weekly meeting where somebody gets up, presents a project, and then it's open to the floor to start commenting on that project. And she says she sort of gets lost because there's a couple of blowhards in the meeting, and they sort of jump in and they go faster and they talk over her sometimes, and she doesn't feel comfortable jumping in, cutting in, because that's not her culture. So what I told her, I said, look, you get the agenda ahead of time, right? She said, yes. I said, here's what you do. You go to the person who's presenting the project and you say, I've got a really good idea about this project, but I'll wait until the discussion. Call on me first, please. Don't open it up to the floor. Just say, before we open the floor, I'd like to call on so-and-so. She's got an idea. She messaged me earlier about it. So this way, you at least get your idea out there first before the blowhards take over the open discussion. And she said, well, what if I don't have a good idea? I said, oh, you'll come up with an idea if they're calling on you first, But it's just a way for her to get her point across before the blowhards take over the open discussion. This is the type of stuff we started to talk a lot more about over the last few classes with her, was how to just cope in the work situation. So even though it's costing me some revenue, I think it's better for her. And I think it's better for me, really, in the long run, to be honest with her and say, you don't need the public speaking anymore. What you need to know is how to handle certain business situations. What do you think? Have you ever been tempted to say, they really don't need my help as much, but I'm going to keep doing it because it's a good revenue stream? Or do you really feel like you got to be honest and say, you don't need me every week for public speaking. It's just not a situation you need. I felt I needed to tell her that, and I think she was grateful. I think she recognized that the value was not so much in the public speaking, but sort of in how to handle certain situations in the corporation. And, if she only reaches out to me once a month, that's fine. If she never reaches out to me again, well, it's too bad, but, I'll understand. Anyway, what would you do? What do you think you would do in a situation like I was in? Would you let her know that she doesn't really need you as much as she might have agreed to? Or would you continue to keep the revenue flowing, so to speak? I'd be curious. Comment down below. And also, like and share this video because I do think it helps people. And subscribe because YouTube likes that. Till next week, take care.